Hello and welcome into the Week 11 edition of the Commissioner's Corner in the League of Extraordinary Salesmen. The 49ers lost once again while having a lead under 2 minutes, this time to the Seahawks in devastating fashion. It's time for us to start realizing at 5-5, we are a wildly mediocre football team and a very good chance to miss the playoffs this season. Has not gone as we had hoped, which is unfortunate. The same can be said about the Jets, as they lost to the Colts at home and then subsequently fired general manager Joe Douglas, and rumors continue to swirl around Woody Johnson wanting to bench Aaron Rodgers back in September. God, what an organizational mess for Tony. However, some good news for Tony. A congratulations goes out to him with this week's high score, a 175 to 118.35 victory over Jacob. While Jacob was out smoozing around, he was getting his doors blown off by Tony with Taysom Thrill and the 41 points he got out of the tight end position to dramatically increase his playoff chances. With that, let's take a look at our worst to first segment, brought to you by Jesse.
Hey, League of Extraordinary Salesmen. Jesse here. I'm in San Diego, so that's a benefit. But shit, I've hit rock bottom. When I'm finishing in last place for the third time this year, and Tony of all people, high score. Taysom Hill, 3 touchdowns? I mean, Tony, that's some crystal ball type stuff that you had going on there. Major props to you. Your team is much better. My team's horrible. Matthew, you and I are probably duking it out for the Yuck for Yellow. Looking forward to fighting you for that one. Let's go Niners.
Thanks for that, Jesse. So glad you could set some time aside as you stepped away from the cocktail reception in San Diego. I couldn't help but think that it's a real life version of the league where you're down trying to be professional at a conference, and yet here you are also having to tell Tony how great he is and how much your team blows. So anyways, with that, we have another enormous announcement. A big congratulations goes out to Dolan. We've got some exciting things as they welcomed in on Tuesday baby Owen. It's officially time for them to trade in the champagne and avocado toast for diapers and onesies. Who would have ever thought such a studly looking man from the Tri-Chi crew, who could party with the best of them yet be incredibly professional, would be here now? Well, once again, very excited for you all, as we know that you're going to be fantastic parents, and we look forward to meeting Owen soon. Congratulations, wooey! Now, gotta change those diapers. Big stuff, very exciting. With that, let's take a look at some other matchups from around the league. It started slow for Jeff on Thursday, with Saquon needing the first half to get it going. Then he rounded into form with almost 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. This helped pave the way for a 137.6 to 92.35 win over Jesse. Although Goody did have a solid day, it was enough to keep pace with Matthew as he finally got that explosive output he had hoped for all season, taking down Goody 159.65 to 126.65. This game was quite entertaining to follow, as Simmons got big days from Joe Burrow and Josh Jacobs, only for Dolan to slowly creep back into the lead with all of his awful Cowboy players. In the end, Dolan gets the 123.65 to 119.1 win over Simmons. I was very concerned after Thursday when my quarterback wide receiver stack got a whopping 13.5 points, but then Matt equally had an off week and almost got the low score. Fortunately for me, I had a monster day from Brock Bowers to give me a 122.65 to 92.9 victory. And in the game of the week, Nick's two workhorse running backs got stuffed at the line of scrimmage to combine for a little more than 20 points, while Val continues her incredible good fortune despite a 0.1 point showing from Raheem Mostert. She gets a solid days from Puka and JSN to get a 109.55 to 103 win over Nick.
Hey guys, still, nobody can touch this. I mean, Goody, I'm kind of scared about playing you this week, but look at Tony and look at Nick. I'm like, they're hot trash of a mess up. I'm like, once you play me, I'm like, hopefully you can score a win. The NFL also in disarray. Hopefully the Niners can get their shit together. We just have so many injuries. Kittle is going to be in, I swear, crossing fingers. Danny DeVito, during Thanksgiving, I was like, man, I'm glad I'm cooking all day. Anyway, it's time for your Sit or Sub of the Week segment. The Sit of the Week goes to Nick, where he went with Tua, who didn't necessarily have a bad day, over the hot hand of rookie Bo Nix. Even after getting some in-person advice from Goody on Saturday, Nick held firm. Well, that didn't work out in his favor, as that 8-point difference would have been enough to give him the win over me. Sucks to suck. The Sub of the Week goes to Tony with the waiver wire pickup of Taysom Hill, who had an explosive 41.4 point outburst to not only give him the win over Jacob, but also give the weekly top score. Well, this has been unofficially brought to you by Beach Deli Midtown, where Aloha is served daily.
Looking ahead to next week, Simmons has lost 3 in a row to make his playoff chances slim, while I have officially clinched a playoff spot and am aiming for the bye week. Nick lost his mojo against Val and has some key players on a bye this week, while Tony looks to climb the league standings. Jacob has enjoyed too many virgin Mai Tais as his new honeydew list has grown quite long, while Jeff still looks to get back into position for a playoff bye. Val is starting to get healthy at the right time and is poised to make a playoff run, while Goody looks to get a win here to help his playoff chances. Matthew's squad is primed to wreak havoc at the bottom of the league standings as those early season trades are starting to pay off, while newly minted father Dolan gets the pleasure of reading all the latest fantasy football news during those late night feedings. And in the game of the week, we have Jesse taking on Matt. Jesse's team has had a slow leak the last month as he has lost 4 in a row and currently sits in 11th place after his 3rd low score video. While Matt hasn't gotten things rolling entirely either, but still has a very slim chance at the playoffs and needs to get a win here. Let's see how this unfolds. So, as we look ahead then to week 12, only 3 more weeks remaining in the regular fantasy football season. It's going to be interesting to see how it happens down the stretch. We have the Steelers taking on the Browns on Thursday Night Football. That should be fun. Inclement weather game. Heard there's going to be some lake effect and chill going on there. And the Jets are on a bye, which is great, so we don't have to watch that. Fortunately, the 49ers start a very difficult stretch where they then have to go into Green Bay on Sunday, almost in must-win territory, followed up by the Bills after Thanksgiving next week. So it's going to be a rough stretch, and if the 49ers have any shot at potentially making a playoff run, they've got to get it going here. Otherwise, their season is all but toast. So best of luck this week, and Commissioner out.